like they can see us.
Ooh. The terrifying ordeal of being known.
Not anymore, though.
Hello, the internet. And all lords, ladies, and kind noble friends watching us thereupon. Welcome to tonight's very exciting stream. We are thrilled to be back with you again tonight, playing Dungeons and Dragons, or more like Vixens and Dragons. Because we are not playing D&D, we are playing VND, baby. We had so much fun last time, so we're doing it again, and probably more in the future after this. So we can't wait to get started. Before I dive in and get everything set up, because for those watching, I am Athena, member extraordinaire of the Vixens on Guard. I am the scholar of our group, and although I would be playing a fantastic wizard were I to be a player, today I am the DM, or I guess the VM?
Whichever you prefer, darling.
No, how far do we want to take the replace the D with V thing? How much of that do we want to do? Unclear. So I will be in charge of running our adventure today with my fabulous companions. I'm so excited. Before I begin, anyone have anything that they need to ask or declare?
Yes. Is my hair all right? Are we sure?
Is it ever not? Has it ever been not?
I have to ask. We're certain everything's good?
Beautiful.
Perfect. Thank you.
Everyone else good? Excellent. All right. So, in recognition that this stream is probably going to be considerably longer than our normal 1 hour-ish streams, and Selene is right now actually just probably waking up.
It's true.
Our night owl over there. But everyone else is like, okay, no, this is going to go late. Sorry, audience. But bear with us and we'll have tons of fun. I'm going to just pretty much dive in with a little bit of an intro as to what you can expect. If you were here with us last time for V&D, you've heard this spiel before, but if not, this is what we're doing. For our entertainment tonight, we are going to be leaning on an aspect of vixenry that is lesser known, or at least lesser discussed, and for very good reason. Our audience tonight likely knows us best as the consummate performers that we are. Luminaries of the theatrical realm, but perhaps you were not aware that this is, in fact, our side gig. Our primary line of work is as Blades for Hire. It's in all of our introductions. It's on I don't actually think it's on the merch, but it should be.
Because I mean, we say babes with blades, so that's technically advertising.
For hire is basically what's happening there. So yes, you might be thinking that you could hire us to perform at your festival or wedding or high production value performance. Oh, I'm going to try that one again. High production value performance venue with financial backing from patrons with deep pockets and a history of unproblematic behavior. And you should hire us for those things. But before we began that line of work, we first came together as a group and discovered that due to our various abilities, proclivities, and predilections, we were in fact ill-suited to the heteronormative roles of our time, the Renaissance. So we decided to do the only sensible thing that would allow us to drink, fight, and get paid. Yes, get paid. Yes, because we're mercenaries. That's right, we the Vixens are available for any armed services that you might need, but since one of the key attributes of a good mercenary is discretion, we don't talk about this work very often, which is perhaps why we weren't getting very much of it and turned to the theatre for more stable income. We cannot discuss any of our previous contract work for reasons which should be obvious, NDAs, respect for the dead, and a number of high-level government officials from various countries who would then have to flee and seek asylum elsewhere. So we shall be offering a glimpse into what Vixen mercenary work might look like through the lens of fantasy. So we are essentially picking up our fabulous selves out of IRL England, Renaissance England, obviously where we are, here with you on the internet today, and porting ourselves over. Yes, this is the truth of our reality. We are we're picking ourselves up and dropping us into again a less fantastical setting than many D&D adventures. We are not in Faerun. We are not in Eberron. We are not going to be riding on the backs of dragons, most likely. But we are going to be investigating one of our favorite subjects, which is Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare, you might think, doesn't really belong in D&D, or rather D&D doesn't belong in Shakespeare, but you'd be wrong. There is incredible precedent, in fact, for an adventuring type scenario within his plays, and precedent for things like magic. So we are going to be able to explore a lot of the D&D tropes and races and classes, and not all of us are playing humans. Some of us can cast magic. Some of us are just really good with weapons, which is just still true to life. And frankly, the mechanics of D&D that says you can do a maximum of 4 attacks in a 6-second period of time, we all here know is not true. I don't think that you should just stand there when a vixen has a sword in front of you, because you're going to be hit many, many times in the span of 6 seconds with that thing. But the rules are the rules, and we shall use them as such. Although I am a little bit of a loosey-goosey rule of cool DM, especially in this setting when we're not doing a long ongoing campaign. That's an important thing to know about what we're doing tonight as well. This is a one-shot. This is a full adventure that we're going to encapsulate and tell a whole story tonight that is unrelated, except for the fact that it's the Vixens and Shakespeare, unrelated to our previous adventure where the Vixens were hired to find and retrieve Hamlet from the pirates who had absconded with him mid-play. So we got to see a little bit of what that encounter, which doesn't happen at all on stage, might have looked like. So we're going to be doing that type of thing, and these are all a very episodic series so that we can swap in any of our 13 Vixens and not interrupt an ongoing story arc, but basically just do an episodic moment within the Shakespeare verse. We're assuming that all of these plays are happening IRL and are happening basically at the same time, regardless of whether they are set in ancient Athens or, 50 years ago, like Henry VIII. We're not doing Henry VIII. We could, but we're not. We are, however, ready to begin our adventure then, ladies, unless anyone has any commentary or questions or anything from the chat before we begin. No one else wants to talk. It just wants to be my voice. Cool. Oh, Hera,
we love your voice. I know. I was on looking at my character sheet. I was just saying that we just love your voice. You use it so well.
Thank you.
But let's do this. I'm excited.
I'm so curious what you've prepared.
Yes.
I am too. I have a loose sketch of what's going on. I do have, it's not fully on rails, but it's a one shot. So there's, a path to follow. And of course, I just eagerly await to know what shenanigans you're going to throw, what monkey wrenches you shall throw in my machinery. Let us begin. We open, as we usually do, usually being the one other time that we have done this, usually we open at the infamous Vixens HQ. You've heard it discussed on social media. You've never seen it because it's our space. I don't know what path I'm going down there. But we open on a sprawling country manor in the rolling hills of England, just outside of London, for the most part, standard but exceptionally large manor house, which has various different bits been added onto it, some seemingly organically and some perhaps tied on with copper thread, as various vixens have appeared and said, this is the space that I need to be me. And so our vixens, who, by the way, are playing versions of themselves, here, we've essentially taken our delightful characters and turned them up to 11, as they say, and are found here in the manor. Let me roll to see who we shall meet first. Actually, why don't we do this? Everyone roll initiative.
What dice am I using?
You're going to use your D20 for almost every roll.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So you're going to roll your D20 and add your initiative bonus to it.
I've got 14.
Excellent.
13.
Got a solid 8.
A 9.
All right, so we're going Hera, Selene, Thalassa, and Melinoe. Excellent. Hera,
Yes.
the cinematic view of our adventure today pans over to presumably a gable window, and pushes in through the gorgeous, gauzy white curtains.
Surrounded by bluebirds fluttering and singing, of course.
Of course, yes. And as the bluebird flies into the window, what do we see?
Well, normally you would see Hera reclining on a chaise in some sort of gorgeous satin loungewear of some kind, or reading her love letters or such things. But what in fact you do see this time is Hera, who in this Vixens and Dragons universe is the most exquisitely beautiful person you've ever seen in your life, with perfect hair, perfect eyes, amazing figure. Everything about her is absolutely jaw-dropping. So she looks exactly like me. And she is sitting, instead of reclining or trying on new clothes, she is sitting stock still at a small desk that is covered with black velvet. And in front of her are 3 diamonds on that black velvet, and in absolute silence and stillness she has a jeweler's magnifier in one eye and is just staring at one diamond very carefully, as slowly putting it down and making her way over to the next. Clearly she's been doing this for hours.
Fascinating. Is she attempting to... What is the plan for the diamonds?
Oh, the plan is to get them set into her latest necklace. All 3 of them are gifts from different beaux of her acquaintance. And Hera has enough jewelry that at this point she doesn't separate it by necklaces and rings and bracelets and brooches. She separates it by diamond quality. So she's seeing which drawer each diamond should fit into once it's in its setting.
Brilliant.
They are.
They do. They gleam. Yeah. One, of course, catches off of, I think that thing's called a loop.
Maybe. I don't know. I just use it. I don't know what it's called.
I want to say it's a L-O-U-P-E, I believe. I think that's what
it's French.
That thing is. And it makes Hera's eye in this particular moment look even larger, of course, than it actually is. And as the diamond glints, there's a glint in her eye as well. that reflects beautifully. Having decided where the 3 diamonds do in fact belong, or waiting perhaps to come back and reevaluate.
Yes,
Because
usually I need to sleep on it a little bit, just to make sure.
decision cannot be taken lightly. No.
No.
One of the bluebirds flies in, lands on the shoulder.
Oh, hello,
there.
Jeffrey.
Gives like the tiniest little peck, which you can interpret, of course, as a kiss. Had Jeffrey lips, he would to be a beak upon that cheek.
Oh, it rhymes.
It did. It did. And he shall actually fly down, and with the notion that this must be decided upon later, pull the back end of the velvet over the diamonds, so there's no chance of them bouncing or being set adrift in the room at all. And I believe gives a little nudge. It flies back over to the window and sort of hops.
Oh, and I get up and I follow, of course.
And you shall see a figure appearing in the distance, coming towards Vixen's HQ at quite a run.
Oh, exciting. I throw on the nearest loungewear I can find and head out into the hallway.
Brilliant. Shall then follow you down the hallway, but pan away from Hera and over to Selene, who is in
her bedroom this time, which last time I described as looking quite similar to Glimmer's bedroom in Bright Moon from She-Ra, which we love. And sleeping is very important for Selene. So she is in this celestial bedroom. I'd assume it's quite early in the day if Jeffrey the Bluebird is out. So Selene is worse for wear. She is certainly horizontal at the moment, but her eyes are like burst open because these strange glints have been coming from Hera's window all the way across to Selene's window, and she can only assume it might be a disco ball, and she's very confused about why all these brilliant lights are shining into her space so early in the morning, and why Jeffrey is causing a ruckus and all of this. And in the corner of Selene's room where she is horizontal in a state of shock at being awoken, is Squire Bob, who Selene is a knight for her background, paladin for her class. But as part of the knight background, you do get a squire. So we made him our Squire Bob, who is loyal to the Vixens and helps more with logistical things, the bags, holding the weapons, helping with a quick change or throwing a prop on stage and things like that. But he also does have barista's tools, which we put together. So he is in the corner of Selene's bedroom, putting together very meticulously a teeny tiny cappuccino in silence.
I like to picture him as well. He runs over and puts the little cappuccino bit, the espresso, like in the thing, and turns the handle so that it is going to steam. And then while that's working, he runs over and gets, those sun tanning cardboard things that you hold? Mm-hmm. This one is painted black instead, and he's trying to anti-reflect the light for you.
That's correct.
Runs around, and then of course the milk steams, and so he has one arm that's held out, trying still to block any of these errant refractions that are happening as he balances largely on one foot to try to remove the espresso bit from the maker, pour it into the cup, and then of course we must steam the milk. Mum, just stay as still as you can. I shall endeavour to take care of your shadow and coffee, but I do need a bit of guidance here, Mum, because the shadow is to help you fall back asleep, and the coffee is to help you wake back up. I am unclear, Mum. What do you want?
The intention, Bob, and I say this in a very hushed tone, it's very hard for me at this time of day.
Endeavour to be more quiet during your nappy time.
The guidance I will give you here, Bob, is that the goal is to have a clean break from sleep time to wake time, where I am in complete darkness and the cradle of slumber until the moment the coffee is ready to be drunk, so that I can go from unconscious to extremely conscious in one fell swoop. Right now, we are in too much of a limbo for me to feel good in my day.
I understand completely, Mum. He puts the coffee cup back down, walks gently over, and shall lay the blackened screen upon your face to provide you with a little enclosed chamber of darkness, while he goes over and very carefully does the milk art. Which in this case, there is a crescent moon and speckles of stars in, and some of that edible glitter that he sprinkles on top. Tiptoes over back to the bed. One fell swoop, Bob. One fell swoop, and shall quickly yank the screen up and thrust the cup of cappuccino under your nose.
I, with this very hot cappuccino, just throw it back, burns aside, scalding all the way down.
Attempts to stifle a shudder.
And as I am careening my head back, eyes wide open, but in a pleasant way now, I cast my light cantrip and say...
9 a.m.? Brilliant.
Yes. And say, bright and ready. Thank you, Bob.
Yes, Mum. Anytime.
At which point, I will stand out of the bed and take on a T position for Bob to dress me in my suit of armor for the day.
And as he does, he's doing all the little buckles on the sides, getting on the pauldrons. He too will look out the window, and you've noticed his hands are still doing a buckling motion, but your straps are in fact swinging free momentarily as he too sees an approaching figure. We shall push then out the window over the grounds, where we push back to Thalassa, who can be found.
Well, before we see where she can be found, I think we should just find her, because she is not human. In fact, she is a water genasi, and so I would like to just take a quick moment to really describe her. Her skin is that of like a teal color, all over. Her eyes are quite large, and they are like a pale blue, almost like a periwinkle blue, with really big, bright electric blue pupils. No, or not pupils, but she doesn't even have pupils. Like they're just big
irises.
Irises, there's the word. Just big irises. You can't even see a pupil. It's dope. And then she has very long, dark teal hair as well. But on her body are like almost like barnacles that almost act as like armor. So like it's sort of like she has like a full set of armor, but it's just barnacles. Well, we find this really cool version of Thalassa at the bottom of the lake, which is conveniently located right next to the manor. She is at the bottom, just lounging with all of her new fish friends. And she is attempting to practice her dolphin because she loves dolphins and she really wants to learn to communicate with them better. So she is practicing for all of her not dolphin friends because there are no dolphins in this pond. So she is just going at it. They have no useful criticism. But it's just her.
Make a performance check. Let's see how well you dolphin today.
It's anything like a performance day. You know, that's a 9.
So for those of you who have attended a performance in particular of our version of McBee, I believe that's where your dolphin impression lieth. It goes about like that. Would you please give us a roll of 9 dolphin sound?
I haven't warmed up.
Nope, that's it. That's a 9 right there.
But it's also underwater, so it's just like. Yeah.
There is a wee little crab sitting on a rock near you, who has been just sort of scuttling sort of side to side as you do this. You give your dolphin noise and it goes full turtle just into the shell, and then one little eye stalk pops back up, looks around, and if one crab's eye stalk could throw shade, it does.
Oh, I do feel bad. I've been working on it, so I swim over to the little crab, and I do scoop him up, and I say, I am so sorry, my friend. I think you're really great. I would like to learn to communicate with other animals, and you know, you're looking swell today, by the way. Just so your crabbiness is just stellar. And your eyes are just so googly. And look at those. Did you get your nails done? They look sharp. Did you did something with
it? Pinches you lightly.
Oh, I can tell. You look great.
And then it scuttles away.
Okay, bye.
As it scuttles, it's going to climb up onto the beach, which lays at the back of the Vixen pond, because we get to have a beach because we're Vixens, and sees just the passing shadow of a figure as the crab pops back into its shell once more. We attempt to follow the shadow, but it moves too quickly for the camera, and we instead press on to Melinoe.
Yes. So Melinoe, I'll follow Thalassa's lead and describe myself a little bit. So I am not human. I am a Kalashtar. And so I look very human-like, but I do have a few streaks of like bright lavender throughout my hair. And my eyes are a bright shade of lavender, and they glow when I feel some intense emotions. And typically with Melinoe, that is when she's very frightened. I do have pupils, though. Not as cool as Thalassa. Yes, so that is me.
The pupils are how you see, by the way.
You learn something every day.
Oh, Thalassa.
Important part for maybe Thalassa to think about that the pupil is where the light goes.
The exact same color as her iris then.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Yes, so that is what Melinoe looks like right now.
What's she doing?
Well, she is currently in her room, which it looks very much like the inside of a geode, like a very light colored amethyst. And there's one like almost hexagonal window in the corner of the room, and it only sheds light on half of the room. And so she is on the half of the room that is very like covered with light. And she's a little bit freaked out, right? So she's just seen something moving in the smoky shadows of the dark side of the room. And so she's trying very hard to calm herself down. So she plops herself down on this like giant pile of pillows, and she grabs her lavender from beside her in the vase, and she starts sniffing it really like intensely, and then she just stops. She puts it down. And she starts to meditate. She thinks that's a better way of coping than to stick lavender up her nose. So she closes her eyes and starts to meditate.
As she sits meditating, she is trying very hard to calm herself and concentrate, but she hears a little from the dark side of the room.
Maybe if I just stay really still, they won't notice me.
You hear a...
Okay. She gets up.
You get more lavender?
Yes. She gets up and she slowly wanders over to the dark side, lavender outstretched in front of her, and she starts to like...
That noise didn't happen in Noe's bedroom. That's in my
she walks over to the dark side and she has her lavender outstretched and starts like poking it around the dark, and then she like steps into it and she's covered by smoke, and she suddenly feels a little bit of like she's not so frightened anymore because now she's in the dark side. She's like, her eyes do start to glow though. Yes.
And as her eyes glow, they meet an additional pair of glowing eyes, but much closer to the floor. In fact, as the little scuttling feet crawl forward, and the big, giant mechanical eyes of Athena's mechanical owl toddles forward, blinks several times, turns its head completely around.
Oh my goodness.
It's very mechanical. Who?
What are you doing here? How did you get here?
It nods to the open window.
Okay. Do you want to go back out there? Or why have you come? Yeah. Okay. Melinoe puts her cloak of the bat, I think it's called, on, and she does the oh.
Pandora has chosen to join us, and may need to be put back in her box.
Good to know. Yeah, so she has her cloak on and she grabs the edges and she does the, I don't know how to D&D, does the polymorph spell and turns herself into a bat and follows Athena's little robotic owl out of the window.
I love it so much. As as the two flying creatures swoop out of the window and go soaring across the grounds, they look down, mostly Melinoe. Pal isn't quite able to take in and turn their head quite all the way down, but swoops down and sees that figure approach into the grounds. All of the vixens hear a cloister bell, bung, 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 going off as the figure crosses over the threshold and bursts frankly through the door, where all of the vixens, coming down from their various rooms, in from various lakes, have appeared, and a young 12-year-old boy, cut up, thorns and scars and dirt all over, bursts in through the door and says, "I need help! Me da is dead!" And I will be immediately right back. We're not going to a full break at the moment, but I do have to go help Pandora. I'll be right back. Discuss amongst yourselves.
This poor boy.
So sad.
I know, and he has no manners at all, just bursting in. I'm shocked.
I know. Who is his dad? Because that could explain a lot about the manners.
Yes, well, I hope he's not hurting too much. I mean, I don't really wish to get blood on my robe, but I'll make an exception if I have to.
Got some water. We can like dampen a cloth.
Do you think? I don't know. It's really hard to get blood out of satin. You know, there's just no amount of soaking.
No, blood's a nightmare. You don't need to touch it. When Athena's back, I think Selene has some good paladin ways to just kind of magically remedy some of those things. No suturing and equipment or gauze required.
Oh, good. Lovely. So this boy, is he all right?
He seems shaken, certainly, but he appears with only minor injuries. There's some bruising along his arms. He's definitely scratched up. His clothing is torn slightly. It appears as though he has perhaps been running through the woods.
Oh my.
I think Selene's interested in going up to him and saying, I can cure your wounds if you tell us all there is to know, offering to do a lay on hands.
I mean, I'm here for your help, so I'll take what you can give me. But
she's lovely.
Yes, like I said, my dad is dead.
Yes, what happened?
They killed him.
Yes, I gathered that, but what happened?
Who?
That's totally fair. Although I suppose my dad is dead could mean he just keeled over from a heart attack. But no, that's not what happened. There were people out on the moors. We were riding. We were out for a ride. And then these people appeared and it seemed like they were trying to make very strange conversation. A little bit about the weather, a bit. But then there was just so much stabbing.
Oh my. Which direction on the moors? You say you've been running for a while.
Well, the moors are up in Scotland, you know.
Yes, all right. Can you give us a sense of which part of the moors in Scotland? There's a lot of them.
The ones near Scone.
Great. What if we just come with you? Would you like us to attend you on your way back? You would be invaluable in giving us directions.
Yes, I'd be happy to guide you, but I don't quite know what to do.
About the directions or about...
Oh, I know how to get back home.
Okay.
Well, what's your name, lad?
I'm Fleance.
Of course you are.
Oh! I had a feeling.
Well, Fleance, I'm very glad you fled this direction, and I'm sure that we can give you a hand if possible.
That's what my dad said to do. He said, "Run, Fleance, run."
And
now, fly, I believe. Fly, Fleance, fly. I didn't know how to do that part, though.
Well, instead of flying, you did flee, and I think that counts.
Might there be... oftentimes, one does not just get ambushed on a horse and stabbed by many, many people.
Agreed. It's
for no reason. Okay, but could you maybe think of a reason why any particular party might want to do this to your father?
Not as known to me.
You said they spoke strangely, or they looked strangely. They said strangely.
It was mostly that. I mean, I can't fully remember exactly what they said because, trauma tends to wipe out short-term memory. It's a thing that 11-year-old Leonce, no, 12. Did I say 12? I think I said 12. I'm almost 12. I'll be 12 soon.
It's a very formative year. You learn a lot in the span of 11 to 12.
11 and a half.
11 and a half. I like her. But I can't think of a reason for them to kill me, Dad. But the conversation it just felt really forced. Like when you're like with strangers and you got to make small talk. And they just kept talking about, was there rain? I think there's rain. I probably should have looked up the lines. Looked up so much else in this play.
Well, do you wish us to come with you for revenge or to help you rebuild a house? Or like what do you need us for specifically? What weapons should I be grabbing is what I'm asking.
I think maybe if we could try to find the people that killed me, Dad.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And now were they maybe also trying to threaten your life? Or
You see this big tear in my shirt here? That was from one of them trying to stab at me, but I'm wily.
Oh, you are. Well, good. I'm glad you made it all the way here. I think it's safe to say that all of us will be coming with you going back to the moors of Scotland. If you just wait a moment, I'll go pack my hat bags.
Oh, sure. Take your time. There's definitely no urgency in this situation. Crimes are definitely solved long after everyone has left the crime scene.
Oh, darling, I'm very quick. Don't worry.
It's really up on at its peak today.
I think this whole time we're like guiding him to a bench and being like, yes, of course, of course. And Selene makes eyes at Bob and the barista's tools and kind of gives a knowing look of like, get him a cup.
Of course, yes, please give this growing child coffee. Please, I'll take it now.
Grow big and strong for your father.
I plan to be very tall.
Yes, and so you shall.
So Fleance is going to sit and sip on a nice dark cup of joe. As many preteens are wont to do.
Yes.
Right. Did you happen to see anything else on your trip here? Like any other dangers should we be worried about?
I was mostly just running, but I will say that the sky was getting real dark.
The sky was getting real dark.
And the birds were super loud.
Birds were super loud.
Thalassa, could you, not to assume of your druidic nature, but are you able to speak to birds?
I don't think I can talk to birds.
You know what? I think I can speak with my mind link. I can speak telepathically to any creature that I see.
Well, that's
Wait. But only a creature that understands at least one language. Does bird count as a language?
No, traditionally no. One would need the spell Speak with Animals in order.
Gotcha.
That's what I was looking for.
I cannot then.
I appreciate your lack of metagaming, Selene. Thank you.
I'm like, let's go ask the birds. Let's get right to the source.
Yes.
And Hera has made her way back into the hallway with a couple of bags and is now wearing her ever-famous breastplate, which is very similar to the bodices that we currently wear, but this one has a platinum backing as opposed to steel and has a gold and blue lacquered front to it and can withstand an awful lot of wear and tear.
And very shiny.
It really is.
Indeed. So are you packing up this young man? Excellent. He does have he has an empty quiver on his back, so I think he may ask to be replenished, if possible.
Oh, I'm sure.
And off you go. Scotland is not very far from England. In fact, they are attached.
United, if you might say.
One might. Not at this point in time.
No. No.
Famously, no.
No.
But they are, in fact, it's not going to be a particularly long journey, and so you will travel throughout several days, I would say, and travel goes largely well. Is there anything that anyone would like to do on your journey there before you arrive? All right.
Can I ask a logistical question about like where we are arriving to? Are we going to like a general outdoor location, or is there like a building that we're aiming to get to? Like, what is the destination?
So you are not far from the Castle Dunsinane, but Fleance will provide you with the information that on the night of the attack, he and his father had gone out riding for the entire day. And they were indeed on their way back from their ride, but they are not far from the castle. In fact, you can see it in the distance. But you are not, you would say, in its backyard. But neither are you fully in an unpopulated, wholly empty moor, but a good area for riding and hunting. And interestingly, as you approach, despite the fact that it should be early afternoon, it is in fact quite dark here. And although you have traveled north where it does get dark earlier, it is not in fact so far north as to have a totally different time of sunset, and 3 p.m. should not look like night. But the closer and closer that you get to your destination, the more night seems to fall.
I don't like this at all. I can't tell at all what my complexion looks like in this kind of air. It's a shame.
I cast light.
Your complexion is still beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Melinoe's eyes go bright purple because she's frightened, which also is not great for stealth, now that I think about it.
Interesting. So we'll keep that in mind if you are deciding to sneak anywhere. But what I will ask is that anyone who does not have dark vision, the closer and closer you get, this is night. It is becoming dark. Darkness has fallen upon Scotland. So if one has dark vision, one can see relatively easily 60 feet into the distance, as though you were wearing night vision goggles. You don't get any colors. It's all shades of gray. But those without dark vision, who are definitely our human friend Hera, and perhaps Thalassa? I can't recall.
I have dark vision. Right?
So Hera will likely need some help to see.
Yes.
Without a light source, you will be making all rolls that depend on some kind of sight at disadvantage.
All right. Good to know. So, Fleance, has it always been like this here?
Has it always been permanent night in Scotland?
Listen, I hear it gets dark farther north. I just figured I'd ask.
No, this is new.
How new?
Just a few days even.
Oh, day or night for this is wondrous strange, Thalassa goes, quoting the wrong play. But I would like to detect magic.
Ooh, yes, please do.
So when if I may, when I do that,
Yes.
like a pulse goes from like my heart, an electric blue pulse, sort of like, you know the movie Atlantis?
Yes.
The Disney movie?
That like a neon, that like pulses out from my heart. All the barnacles light up really quickly. It like runs through her hair. Very
You're bioluminescent?
Yes.
I love it. Excellent. So you send out, your whole body lights up in this teal turquoise that pulses out through your hands and sends, it's not really visible because it's air, but if you were in the water at the time, you would see that sonic boom ripple out from you. You do detect a high presence of magic here. This is definitely magically created darkness. It is not so far as the spell darkness, which creates total blindness, but it is, it seems perhaps a more diffuse version of that spell to cover a wider area, perhaps. And you get a flicker of enchantment magic.
So I relay this very precisely to my friends here. And I'm like, you know, I'm sure it's fine. And then I like cover the little boy's ears and I'm like, we need to get a plan. And then I just release it like he's fine.
He's like he scratches behind his ear. He's like, don't touch my hair.
Sorry, kid.
We understand.
Perhaps we can gain some more specificity in the one way that I can lend help right here. And Selene, in a less cruel manner than Thalassa's bioluminescence, will use her divine sense to open her awareness to detect good or evil forces. This only has a 60-foot range, and it basically will show the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead.
Excellent. Let me just verify.
Oh, or the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated in that range.
Ooh, that's fun.
But it's quite small, 60 feet, all things considered.
Indeed. You do not... will you give me the list of the things that divine sense might sense?
The location of any celestial, fiend, or undead, or a place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Excellent. Within 60 feet of you, no, you do not feel any of those things.
Nothing here, but we'll try later.
Well,
I need
Thalassa,
everyone to make a perception check, please.
With a D20.
With a D20. And then add whatever bonus is next to your perception.
Oh,
Perception.
5.
17.
Oh, wow. 21.
You
Excellent.
don't need pupils when you're Thalassa. Got a 23.
Very
Very.
perceptive.
Selene, you are still trying to feel out, is there anything untoward in this area, when the other three of you begin to hear the enormous racket of birds.
Birds.
That's great fun. What direction is it coming from?
What kind of
Above.
birds are they?
Oh, above, up there.
Yes. Birds are coming in to swoop upon you. I need everyone, please, to roll initiative.
Great. 4.
Wait.
16.
Wait. Oh. It's just this. 15.
And 13.
Sorry, 1 second. Thalassa, you had 13?
Correct.
Wait, should I be rolling at disadvantage since I can't see?
I will say that because you were able to hear the birds on the approach, and I said that it was in regards to sight, you would make that a straight roll in this.
Great, then I got a 1.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Well, then you couldn't, disadvantage wasn't going to help you. So.
Nope, I was just curious, really, just for my own edification.
Selene, what was yours?
16.
Excellent. Give me just one moment. So we are going... Fleance, Melinoe, Thalassa. Okay, all right, excellent. So, Vixens, I have sent you a map. We are going to try once again to use a map. Now, audience, please bear with us. Number 1, last time, it didn't work at all. Number 2, we are not fancy, and we are simply playing in Google Slides. So we have a map. The players will be able to move their tokens around, but this is not a high-tech endeavor that we are attempting here today. So if everyone can pull up the map, and if the map can try to come on screen. There's our map. There we go.
Lovely.
Welcome, map.
This is the map. These are various rocks along the moors, so there are things to climb upon. The light gray ones are small. They the broader they get, the taller they also get. But this is your map. I should ask you, please, to put yourselves in this glade where you think you would have been.
Athena, it is not working.
What is not working?
They cannot see it.
They can't see it.
Oh.
Oh, blast. Well,
Worth a shot.
But there were some really nice rocks.
friends, let us imagine. Our vixens are standing on the moors, which are a rather open type of landscape. There are trees around. They're in a bit of a glade at the moment, and many rocks are cropping up and about.
Athena.
Oh, and it seems as though our whole picture has lost.
We are gone.
Are we gone off of sound as well?
What a question.
What a question indeed.
I just checked. We do have sound, yes.
Lovely.
So we shall sing for you a song. What? The song of initiative. Basically, this stream is now a podcast.
Oh, Lord.
Or imagination.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't started a podcast at this point.
With all the other things that we've done.
Yes, all of our copious amounts of time.
Mm-hmm.
We are going, I believe you can still hear us. We are attempting a fix on the back end from our fabulous producer and stream manager. Bear with us, friends.
It was worth a shot, though. That map was very pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. I worked very hard on it. Are we back? Not yet.
I want to like be in a weird pose.
Oh, good.
Hello. We're back.
And we're back, baby! Thank
Hello
you
again.
for bearing with us. This is twice now that attempting to use maps has simply said no, and now lesson learned. I do not need to learn this lesson again. We're going to use our imaginations. I have no idea what the audience has and has not heard about the landscape. So I'm going to say it again. Our vixens find themselves in a darkened glade in the moors. The trees are not especially tall, being that it's the moors, but there are many craggy rocks about. Big ones, small ones, ones as big as your head. Is that how that goes?
Yes. Appreciate you.
And considerably larger than one's head, considering we're talking about boulders. That is where they stand when a swarm of what appears to be mousing owls swoops down upon our dear heroes. Our owls are going to attack. They're going to swoop down upon Selene, are you holding up light at the moment?
No, I got rid of it after the makeup moment for tact.
Excellent. So then our glowing-eyed friend, who is shining a bit in the night, is going to be attacked and is rightfully protecting her eyes both from the light that emanates from them, but also what do birds do? Ooh, that's definitely going to hit.
Could I use interception?
20 hits your armor class?
Sorry, say that again?
Is a 20 the same as or above your armor class?
It is very much above my armor class.
Excellent.
Could I use my reaction of interception to coolly counter the bird out of the way?
Indeed, you may. So what does that do mechanically?
When a creature you can see hits a target within 5 feet of you, use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus my proficiency bonus.
Excellent. So it would be doing 7 points of damage, but instead it does...
Let's find out. What is my proficiency bonus? Is 2. What did I say? 1d10. 1d10. Give me a d10. 5.
Excellent. So instead, Melinoe, you are only going to take 2 points of damage as the birds swoop down, pecking at your eyes, which are, in fact, what is gleaming.
Gotcha. Where do I take those 2 points from?
So those are coming out of your hit point total. So near the middle of your sheet, nearest the top, it should say hit point max and have a number probably in the 20s.
There is none.
There's none. You don't have any hit points.
I don't have any hit
Oh no!
She's dead.
Can I just mark it at 100?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You would have started as a warlock. Your hit dice are a D8. And what is your constitution modifier?
+2.
+2. So you would have started with 10 points. So we're going to add, we'll average it out. You will have gotten an additional 6 points per level. So you're at, 10 plus 18. So 28 hit points will be your total.
Perfect. So I'm going down to 26.
Yes, and you are now down to 26. Selene, it is now your turn.
So riding the high of just countering this bird out of the way, on are they like, did they swoop low enough that I'd be able to
Yeah,
melee attack?
they come in like a large murmuration coming in. They are a swarm, so there's plenty still nearby.
Cool. So I think to look as cool as possible, I'll have counted that bird out of the way, and then I want to kind of riposte into a different bird, or actually the same bird, because that hurt my friend, with my rapier.
Excellent.
I wonder what this bird's armor class is. +5 to hit.
So
That
you're
is 18.
Excellent. That will hit. And just so that you're aware, when you're fighting a swarm, you are not, you may decide however you think about the battle in your head, but I do not have 47 individual birds scattered out. There is.
You don't?
Why not?
Why not?
There is a swarm of mousing owls, and you are attacking the swarm. If you would like to flavor it by stabbing one particular bird, great, but they all function as a unit. As
Sounds good.
do. You said it was an 18 to hit?
That is correct.
That hits.
And then we do 1d8 plus 3, 8 piercing damage to the swarm.
You strike through, and several birds change their course of direction and fall. Feathers are scattering everywhere. Fleance will draw an arrow that's kindly given to him by the Vixens and make his attack into the swarm as well. With an 18, he does in fact hit and will do a measly 4 points of damage, but we'll take it.
It's great for a preteen.
It's true. Melinoe,
Yes.
it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to whip out some magic and do what is called an Eldritch Blast, which I hear is quite common. So I'm going to do that.
Excellent. Make your roll.
Of what?
You're going to roll your d20,
Perfect. Thank you.
and you will be adding there should be a modifier next to the spell, I believe, and if not, then you are adding your charisma bonus and your proficiency bonus.
Yes. Okay.
It should be 2.
So that will be 14.
14 to hit? Yes, wait, double checking. Yes, that hits.
Great. Perfect.
So now you're going to roll 1d10
Oh, okay.
of your damage, and then I have an additional question for you.
Okay.
I believe I have this answer, but I just want to verify. When you took your Eldritch invocations,
Yes.
did you take any that added anything to Eldritch Blast? I don't think that you did, if I recall character creation correctly.
I don't think so, because I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to say no.
Good.
Good. I got a 0.
Oh, you got a 10.
Did I?
You did, yes. You can't roll,
Oh.
and for whatever reason,
Gotcha. Yes.
I believe simply for symmetry's sake, which I drives me personally crazy, they have listed all on every D10. The 0 is a 10. I don't know.
Which feels terrible to roll.
It feels terrible, and it's confusing,
Yes.
especially when you're rolling the percentile dice. It's like, what did I actually roll here? What is it?
Both.
It works out all right when you're like, okay, so it's a 0 and then the 9, but or I guess it would be 80 and then the 0, so I've rolled just an 80. But it takes a lot of thinking, and that honestly is why the D10 has the 0 on it, because of how it functions in a percentile dice.
Interesting.
But I just think we should probably have, not that we need more dice, but I love dice, but 7 in a set, I get. But that's why it's there, and it's confusing when you're rolling it alone. You've rolled 10 damage. Huzzah to you.
Huzzah!
And thank you for coming to Athena's TED Talk.
There's a meme going around that's like, you've been kidnapped. Hilarious start to a meme. 2 hours later, the kidnappers have returned you. What were you talking about that drove them so crazy as to say, no, take her back? And I feel like I have just so many topics on which I could wax prosaic for an extended amount of time. Anywho.
Yes.
This swarm of birds is looking mostly feathery and less flighty, but at that moment, a second swarm of birds appears to swoop down from, if you had a map, you'd see they were coming from the other direction. They're triangulating. Sigh. Melinoe, having just blast energy into the sky. And before I do this, would you be so kind as to describe what does your Eldritch Blast look like? It into the air.
Well, naturally, it's bright lavender, of course. It has to be. But within it, there's like a swirl of black. Like it's like a little swirl of black within it.
Gorgeous. Well, my lavender-eyed and magicked friend, that might not hit. Let's find out. Does a 13 hit your armor class?
Yes, it does. Just.
Excellent. Well, they are coming back in again for more pecking at your eyes. And this time, you shall take 7 points of damage.
Can I do anything else, or am I done?
That is actually your turn. Is done, unless you have a bonus action that you would like to do.
I do not think so. There's a lot of writing on this.
Excellent. Things will be labeled as bonus action or BA. Have a bonus action to do. I apologize. I skipped potentially the end of your turn.
That is okay. I think I do. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to try and find it.
They would be under your spells, most likely.
This is helpful. Yes. Okay. So I have 1 BA is what I'm looking for. Yes. Perfect. I am going to take the magic stone. I'm going to do that one. And so I pick up.
I have said there are many rocks. So yes.
Yes. Can I pick up a rock bigger than a pebble?
Technically, no. According to, I suppose you can, but it won't do additional damage.
Gotcha. So I can just use. Okay. Well, in that case, I pick up 3 tiny pebbles and I put magic into them in some form, and I pick up my
slingshot,
and I aim at.
You will be able to make that attack on your next turn. Casting the spell is the bonus action, and it is an additional action to attack with it. But now you are ready to make that attack when it comes back around to your turn again.
Great. So I still lost 7 points.
Yes.
Great.
That happened.
Well.
Sorry. Thalassa, you are up.
So, fun fact about Thalassa. I don't like birds. So, Thalassa turns to 11 really is not okay with birds. So rather than doing anything logical, Thalassa just whips out the javelin and just is ready to make a bird kebab.
Yes.
So that's what we're gonna that's
Great.
the hope. So in case I roll poorly and that's not what happens, I need everyone to know that that was the plan and it was going to be really cool.
Excellent.
Great.
I think Bob heard mention of kebab and has like shrank away, like, do not put me on the spit.
I got a 19.
Oh, that hits. Which swarm of birds are you aiming at?
The close ones.
They are both upon you. Are you aiming at the original one or the new one?
The original ones.
Excellent.
Right.
Roll your damage, please.
2 piercing damage.
Excellent. Very good. They are not happy. These birds are not happy.
I'm not happy.
Hera.
Yes, as someone who cannot see well but can hear everything that's going on, and also as a battle master, I'm not going to necessarily attack. I'm wondering if I can get Selene's help in putting up a blast of light again as I pull out my mirror from my pocket to blind these birds as they fly at us, especially since they're all owls.
If our DMV will allow it.
Please don't turn me into the DMV.
You're much more entertaining than the DMV. I apologize.
And you move at a much faster pace.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk through this. This is not a standard attack. I love this idea. I think this is fascinating. We just have to figure out how to make it work mechanically.
All I need is a light source, just something bright.
And then is there an ability that you're using, or are you just using the physics of light?
I'm using the physics of light. I am using a reflective, either a mirror or a diamond. I have those too. But either way, I'm blasting them with light, because if it's dark and it's the swarm of birds and most of them are owls with their giant eyes, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
It's just like the way the moon works.
Yes.
No.
No. Yes.
Let me look something up very quickly. Okay, all right. I'm going to give... You'll only... Because it's a mirror, it's a very targeted beam. It won't shed light broadly. So I'm going to give this as an attack at one of the swarms of birds.
All right.
Which swarm are you aiming your mirror at?
The second one.
Excellent. I'm going to give that swarm of birds a Constitution saving throw to avoid being blinded. If they fail, they will be blinded on their next turn.
All right.
I feel good about this.
Great. What do you need from me?
And they have a -1 to Constitution because they're birds. So let's see. You don't have a spell DC.
No.
That's all right. They rolled an 8.
I do.
That's true. I feel very confident that they have failed this. They've rolled an 8. But out of curiosity, what is your spell? This isn't your magic, though. Although
it's
one more time.
This is your magic.
It's her magic, but it's on my turn.
This is some shenanigans.
So
Right.
it's a big shenanigan. So
Did
the
I
light
skip-
cantrip.
No, I love this. I'm just trying to figure out what the DC would have been.
The light cantrip has a section that says, if you target an object held or worn by a creature, the creature must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity saving throw to avoid the spell.
So that would be Hera essentially electing to fail the saving throw because she wants the mirror to light up. And technically what that would be doing is turning the mirror into a flashlight.
Yes.
But because it's a reflective surface, we're going to bounce that light right off of it and into the eyes of these birds, who once again have rolled very poorly. And swarm number 2 is now blinded for the next round. So they will be making their attack with disadvantage because they can't see anyone. Fascinating.
Selene says, "It's just like you did to me this morning, Hera."
You're welcome. It's where I got the idea.
Excellent. Swarm 1, on its very last legs, is going to make an attack at Hera for shining a light in its eyes. Oh, that's a natural 20!
I mean, I'm going to flatten myself on the ground, is for certain. And I am still wearing my breastplate.
You are, that's true.
But yes, I'm going to flatten myself on the ground, face down, and cover my head.
So you are going to take 17 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Yes.
My armor class has nothing to do with it?
Your armor class, I rolled a natural 20 to hit.
Oh, that's right, so no. Worth a shot. Thought I would ask.
Absolutely worth a shot. Absolutely.
How much did you say, 17?
17. 17 points of
Fine.
piercing damage. And I hate to say it, Hera,
Yes.
they have mussed your hair.
That's what 16 of the 17 points of damage are happening.
If it was 1 point, it would be too much.
Selene, it's your turn.
Oh, fantastic. I think what I am going to do here, I want to start becoming the sponge in this battle, because I can't bear to see my friends getting pecked at anymore. So Selene's going to distance herself a bit, and really try to make some like bait of herself. And she's going to use her, as part of her paladin oath, channel divinity, sacred weapon, to very coolly, and just for flavor, I want to say that she's sheathed the rapier so she can unsheath it. And as she does, for her action, she is imbuing the weapon with positive energy, which for 1 minute will make the weapon magical. And we'll cast bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light in a 40-foot radius beyond that, so 60 feet of light. And I get to add my charisma modifier to attacks with it for 10 rounds is
Excellent.
how that would wash out.
But
But that's just my action, so it's...
your action.
I guess I kind of want to be like, look over here.
Do you have a bonus action that you would like to do? Excellent. You are ready to attack. Fleance is going to aim at the new set of ravens that has swooped down upon Hera. Ooh, yes. That's definitely a hit with a 19 on the die. I don't even have to do math on that. That hits. D8 and does 8 points of damage to this swarm. Well done, Fleance. Melinoe, you are up again.
Wonderful. So if the birds have been drawn over to Selene, I think what I'm going to do is, now that I have these magic stones or pebbles or whatever they are, rocks, I'm going to try and like line them up, or like, do math or like geometry. You know what I mean? Like,
Trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
exactly.
Or 3.
Exactly. Or 3. Or heck, why not aim for 5? And so I am going to take my slingshot and load up one of them, and just try one for now. Or should I will it take more than one action to give to slingshot all 3? Or like At a
You
different
can
time.
only slingshot one at a time.
One at a time. Gotcha.
But the good news is that you don't need to spend any other time casting that spell. All 3 stones are ready to go, but you can only fling one at a time.
Okay, perfect. Well, I will do that.
Excellent. At the first swarm or the new swarm?
Whatever one is going towards Selene.
That
Oh,
That is the first swarm, because the second swarm is over by Hera.
right.
So you're going to roll your attack. So roll your d20.
Thank you. Oh, that is a 16
16 on the die.
on the die. Yes.
You don't even need to do math. That hits.
Wonderful.
Sure. And so now you will add, I believe it's a d6,
Sure.
I think.
Yes, 1d6.
Excellent.
A 1.
Very good. Not nothing. Birds are not happy. The second swarm, blinded, will be coming back down at Hera, having just had a very successful attack. But they are blinded, so they will be rolling at disadvantage.
Are they coming at me? Is it my turn right now?
They are coming at you, but it's not your turn.
Ah, I see.
It's their turn, and they are attacking you, but I assume that a 7 does not hit you.
No, it does not.
So you said you had flattened out. They
Yes.
do a dive bomb and just miss past you. One does pluck at a strand.
Leave it alone.
I feel like this anger is actually at me.
It's not. It's at them. You know better, darling.
Thalassa, it's now your turn.
Great. Hey Hera, how you feeling?
Not great. I'm face down in the mud.
I mean, like if I were to come over to you, should I give you a tall glass of water to help you feel better, or should I attack some birds?
I support bird attack.
Great.
I think because I'm winded, but I'm not hurt.
Okay, great.
So,
Then yes. I'm going to run over to my good pal Hera. I don't exactly know where she is, but just in case I wasn't near her, now I am. And I'm new to spells, but frostbite. Can I throw frostbite?
What is the range on frostbite?
60 feet.
So yes, you can do that from 60 feet away.
Okay. Okay.
This is a great spell.
Because in her birdemic rage, Thalassa runs over to Hera and essentially goes like this, and a ice dagger forms for her to grab it, and she just chucks it.
Chuck that ice dagger.
Chucks it. What do I roll?
It's possible that they make a saving throw.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. What statistic?
I assume a Constitution saving throw.
Does it say con save?
Yeah, yes.
That did not sound like a confident yes.
I think yes.
I'll look it up.
Well, it says attack/save con 13.
Con 13. So yes, Your DC is 13. Your spell difficulty class is 13. They are going to roll a Constitution save and have to get above a 13 in order to resist frostbite, which will be very difficult for them because, as previously mentioned, they have a -1 to Constitution. Nope, that's a 3.
Right.
Roll that beautiful bean damage.
Oh, I shall. Ooh, it's a 6.
Oh, very good. But not for the birds.
Yeah, that it's like frostbite damage. Does that matter? The birds.
It does not. They do not have resistance to cold.
Would it change their migration pattern?
Well, in my head,
They all go.
the wings wet.
They open up and come back together. But I believe because their pinion feathers are now all covered in a hoarfrost, I believe they have disadvantage on their next attack. Yes.
Sure.
Pretty sure that's how the spell works.
Look it up.
I think so.
It seems tricky to apply.
I use it pretty regularly. I'm pretty sure.
Sure. This is a very long paragraph. It has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll.
Weapon attack roll. This is always what. Maybe the chat can help me out here because this wording is so frustrating when you use this spell against a non-humanoid. Because it's a very good, very utilitarian spell. But it specifically says against the next weapon attack, and these birds are using themselves as weapons.
Their claws are weapons. Their beaks are weapons.
Not according to the mechanics of Dungeons and Dragons, though. So if anyone has any strong opinions about this, let me know. But I'm going to otherwise declare that this works against the birds because there's a whole reason that birds fly south for the winter, which is that feathers don't work well when they're icy. So unless the chat tells me I'm exceptionally wrong on this, which science says yes.
Luke agrees with us and says melee counts as a weapon in this case.
Excellent. Thank you, Luke.
Agreement in the chat.
Fantastic. There we go. We've got some frosty birds who, on their next round, if they make it, will have disadvantage. Hera, what would you like to? What?
I am.
How badly would you like to mess with my birds now?
I have taken a fairly high quality punch from them. They have messed with my hair, and Thalassa's given me a marvelous reprieve. So I am, as far as attacks, I'm a little bit stuck because I don't have anything that's got any sort of range.
They are not flying high. They are coming in and swooping. What do you have?
I have my rapier, of course. I've got 2 daggers and I've got a longsword.
I believe with the longsword you would be able to take a swing at these birds.
Then sure, don't mess with my hair.
Because I have not expressly said that they were flying away from any of these attacks, because if they did, they would be taking attacks of opportunity.
Sure.
We're going to say that they are still in range. Absolutely.
All right. Then I am going to draw my longsword off my back, very Wonder Woman style.
Hot.
And attack these birds basically in a giant arc all the way around.
Nice.
And just see how many I can clip, because they clipped my hair, so why not?
It doesn't look good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
There's a twig.
A twig? What?
A twig.
Oh, that's... Yeah, it's going to be a giant, full body, possibly with a midnight parry at the end. Yes.
For story's sake, during all of this, can I be like trying to like pick the things before Hera notices? So like as she's like wielding, I'm just like, ooh, and picking it.
Very good.
Good.
All right, let's see here. Remind me what dice I'm rolling in order
You're
to do the
rolling
attack?
the d20,
All right, great.
and you'd be adding your proficiency bonus and traditionally your strength on a longsword.
This one, the only modifier I've got on here is my longsword, is my strength.
Perfect.
So
Yes.
so that still gives
and
me
proficiency.
and proficiency. I don't know if I've got proficiency in longsword.
You're a fighter. You definitely have proficiency in longsword. You have proficiency in every weapon.
If that's the case, then I've got 20. So
that very much hits birds.
yeah.
Now hits lots of birds.
Excellent.
So now what I need you to, I believe the way that you have described this is traditional longsword attack. So it is in two hands, yes?
Yes.
So you're actually going to roll a d10.
I am.
And not a d8.
Yes. And I got 5.
5 points of damage.
5 damage.
Woo! We have lots and lots. Well, I was going to say we have lots and lots of unhappy birds, but mostly we have just fewer and fewer birds is what's really happening there.
So right.
Swarm 1 is going to swoop down upon Selene for her vicious attacks earlier. Let us see. Does presumably a 21 hit?
It does. As tanky as I made myself, it does hit.
That's 21 is a very high armor class, especially
Quite high.
at level 4. We are playing at level 4. That is 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And it is your turn. Should you like to riposte?
Oh, very much so. Using my magically imbued rapier, I'm going to attack these birds, and I get, beyond my regular modifier, I get my charisma modifier added onto it, which makes it 11.
11 just misses the birds. Oh, that's...
It was a bad roll.
I thought for sure you had these birds.
I had a +8 to the roll, and we still didn't make it. So, hey, that's fine. Well...
So it goes sometimes.
And no bonus action to use because my bonus actions are all to do more damage. So I have to hit to use the bonus actions.
Smite.
That's me.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Fleance has also missed the birds.
It wasn't all round.
To be fair, it's way easier to send an arrow into a large amount of birds and way harder to pick off the one that is left over. Melinoe, you're up again.
Yes. I'm deciding whether I want to use another stone or if I want to. Yes, I think I will. I think I'll save that for later. So I'm just going to take another stone and
whip.
Yep.
Excellent. Roll your d20. Add your attack bonus.
Attack bonus, which was down here. Oh, yes, right. Okay, 15.
That hits.
Haha, perfect.
And roll your d6 of damage.
Right. 5.
Excellent. Please tell me, how do you use these rocks to kill off this first swarm of birds?
Yes, so it's a magic stone, right?
It is.
Can I dictate where it goes, what path it takes?
Absolutely. Yes.
Amazing. So when I aim at the closest bird and it just kind of pinballs its way off all of the other birds in the swarm and then comes back into my hand.
Back into your hand? Incredible. I love it. Amazing. Our last remaining swarm of birds, again with disadvantage because their feathers are being trapped close to their bodies, can't quite break through the icy shell upon them, shall swoop down upon Thalassa. Does a 14 hit?
Just barely.
Oh, wait, I didn't roll at disadvantage. I literally was talking about disadvantage and didn't roll it. I rolled exactly the same thing.
Well,
It's meant to be. For 5 points of... Oh, no, wait, sorry. Only one of these. 4 points of damage.
I can live with that.
And it is now your turn.
Great. I yell a slew of profanity, having now been touched by a bird. So I do frostbite a second time, if I may.
Absolutely.
Even if it doesn't do any more damage, it is like 3 times bigger than it was before. If you know what I mean. So, if you could,
Like the swelling seas.
if you could make a Constitution save.
Oh, that's right. 12.
Great.
Which I believe just fails, yes?
Just karma. That's what it's all about. So I rolled a 2.
Oh. It's not nothing.
Clearly, the size doesn't matter.
It's an important lesson for everyone to learn, honestly. Next time, think about girth. Hera.
Oh, right. Great. So just checking in on the status of this second swarm.
Like a bird left. Let's
Then
not call it a swarm anymore.
There's just one bird left?
Functionally, yes.
That's depressing. Also serves them right. Then let me try something cool. And can I try and target it with a dagger that I throw?
Sure, yes.
Great, sweet. Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wind up and just, if I can. So I'm going to roll my...
Persephone would be so proud.
If I'm throwing, I can still use my D20, right? I'm still always using that?
Correct, yes.
Okay,
Every attack will be made with the D20.
Oh, that did not go well.
What is it?
With my bonus, I'm at 7.
No, that doesn't.
No, totally wide.
The one bird just goes.
Yeah, all right. It was worth a shot. Would have been really cool.
It would have been. I genuinely wanted that moment to happen because that would be such an amazing cinematic ending to just whip.
Especially if I wasn't looking at it, if I just casually threw it without looking.
Would
have been great.
And then walk away.
No, here we are.
Given that Swarm 1 has met an untimely end, Selene, it is your turn.
Okay, I think I'm going to go for gold again, but on swarm number 2, would I be close enough to make a melee attack on them?
Yes.
Great. Then that's exactly what I'll do. For 24 to hit.
Holy moly. With
Rolled a 16.
their armor class. Yes, that hits.
Great. And I'm going to bonus action. What is it? My Searing Smite, which gives
unnecessary, but I get it.
Overkill.
I was going to say, I love the story of I tried to kill the last bird, couldn't do it. Hera tried to kill the last bird, couldn't do it. Selene goes all out.
I want to cook the bird and have a meal ready.
Roast the chicken.
Okay, we are doing 12 damage.
Describe
Should I say
your delicious meal.
Because the searing smite does fire damage, I imagine this being almost akin to a moment in one of my favorite games in Renaissance England, Breath of the Wild, in which Link may do a fire attack on a bird of sorts, and the fire cooks the bird instantaneously, and a cooked meal is suddenly ready on the ground. So what has happened here is I very coolly do this big Melinoe and this descending slash on the bird, and in the moment that my flaming sword comes down and I whoosh, whoosh, whoosh back into the sheath, perfectly cooked bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken descends from the sky and lands ready for my party to eat. And that
And so it does.
That's how they're dead.
Surrounded by bird carcasses, a delicious meal ensues. Very nicely done.
That's remarkable.
And you all grab a piece of chicken. And what do you do next?
Can that piece of chicken restore some of my hit points?
It is not magical chicken.
Can I use a hit die?
Can I make it magical?
If you are choosing to sit for an hour, then yes.
Oh, no,
Or-
we're kind of on a timeline. You muted left.
Thalassa.
Yep. We love the notification that tells you. I actually go over to Hera and I'm like, you cannot be seen. I'm so sorry. Let me, and then I cure wounds upon her.
Can you do cure wounds on my hair?
Yeah, it's more like a what are those treatments?
Like a keratin treatment?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Deep conditioning.
Gore split ends.
To heal you for 10.
Great. Thank you. You're amazing.
Can I lay on hands myself?
Certainly.
Well, I'm going to resist making a very profane joke there. And
We all hear it.
We do.
yep, so that's what I'm doing. And I have a bank of 20 hit points in that pool, but I'm going to restore my 8 hit points that I lost in battle back at full health.
Excellent.
Laying on of hands can be very refreshing.
It's
And
good
so it can.
soul. Good for tension release. Good. Those injuries.
And Selene's really,
Yes.
wow. Wow.
I need everyone to make a perception check, please, as you are eating your chicken and tending to your wounds.
7.
17.
16.
Oh no, my dice. 21.
Excellent. So, Thalassa, while you are busy trying to fix Hera's hair, which normally she woke up like this, but in this case is taking a bit of attention in this moment, the rest of you begin to hear voices, a sort of chanting that is happening relatively nearby.
Can I use my divine sense to detect evil now?
Yes, you may.
Great. So I will do that again, looking for celestials, fiends, undead, and places and objects that are consecrated or desecrated in
Very
60
good.
feet.
You get a sense of undead nearby. And I don't believe it's full desecration that's happening, but something untoward is going on?
I tell the party this. I'm nervous there's ghosts, but I don't want to say that word in front of Melinoe.
My eyes grow brighter.
I look between Melinoe and our young friend, and decide to cover his ears again and go, "Do you think it's his dad?" And then I'm
quite nervous. It's someone who was, gone before their time and still walking on this earth, trying to, I don't know, get vengeance or something like that.
But we can't see them yet, can we?
No, you can hear them, but you cannot yet see them.
I will say, after having been attacked in this particular spot for quite a while, I don't really want to keep standing here out in the open. If there's a way for us to continue moving toward the castle, perhaps. But, I mean, Fleance, where do you think we ought to be? What direction should we be going?
The chanting seems to be away from the castle, so if you move towards the castle, it does seem safer, certainly. But I don't know that it would address the problem.
That is completely fair.
Could I do just an insight check about the vibe of this chanting and something like that? Like if it...
Absolutely. Insight check.
Sure. That gives me a 15.
You can't quite make out the words yet. You are hearing multiple voices, not just one, and the vibe is pretty creepy. It is not a rhythm of speech to which you are accustomed.
Interesting.
I share this.
Is it a creature?
It's voices, so they do sound humanoid.
Gotcha. Intriguing.
I don't know much about magic, but I'd be willing to bet that the ridiculous swarms of very specific bird attacks and this general nighttime thing might have something to do with all that chanting. Just bad things abounding. That's the closest thing we've found to some sort of cause to all of these effects.
Mm-hmm. Should we try to sneak in that general direction? I say in full plate.
I could always use my cloak of the bat and go stealthily see what this is.
Or at least perhaps, Melinoe, if you want to be the vanguard and we'll follow you. Because I shouldn't want you to go in there all by yourself. That's no fun.
Please no. Yes, I would love that.
You are going in as a bat?
As a bat.
And this is a polymorph spell. Great.
Is.
Then yes, let's move toward this chanting,
Onward.
which sounds like a totally sensible thing to do.
So I need everyone to roll stealth. Hera, this can be a straight roll. Ooh, you might step on a stick that you can't see. Make this roll at disadvantage. Melinoe, you can make this roll at advantage, so which means you're going to roll 2 dice and take the higher stealth roll because you are a bat.
Perfect.
I got 3.
I got 12.
18.
13.
Can I just be like walking with my hand on like Squire Bob, like on his shoulder?
Absolutely. Yes. He's also human.
That's true. Hey, Thalassa, can I put my hand on your shoulder? Do I have your enthusiastic consent to put my hand on your shoulder to walk through this woods?
Always, Hera.
Great.
So at the sound of the twig snap, I guess I should roll for Bob as well. Bob got a 13, so he is occasionally huffing, but is not a total disaster in terms of walking. A twig does snap under Hera's foot.
Really distracted by my hair, you all. I'm sorry.
It's better now.
Yes, but better's not best.
That is true. That's how words work.
Thanks.
There is a brief pause in the chanting at the twig snap. And then it resumes. Melinoe, you are scouting ahead?
I am ahead, yes, as a bat, high above the trees, or maybe in the trees. I don't know where bats go. In the trees.
It sort of depends on where you want to be.
Right. I will be where bats go.
Can you be specific?
Yes, I can. I am flying close enough to the ground, but not like at human level. I'm like just above the heads kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
I can see.
You see a group of 3 figures standing in a glade.
Mhm.
There is a cauldron there with fire creeping up underneath. These figures are dressed in tatters and hunched over. They are the ones who are chanting. You also see 2 corpses off to the side near where they are. And that is what the bat sees.
So these are not my people. They're not good witches then.
It's a little hard to say, although, like I said, creepy vibe.
Creepy vibe. Okay.
Weird sisters.
One might describe them as weird, yes. Very strange.
Very strange. So in that case, I'm going to fly back down and tell my friends this precise thing.
So you turn back into your not quite human form.
Yes. So we've got a bit of a problem. There are 3 of them. I don't know what they are, but there are 2 corpses beside them. Never a good sign.
Are the corpses animated?
Animated corpses?
Yes.
Animated as in, are they like
Moving.
So like the undead kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if I saw that.
Listen, if they weren't actively moving,
You
that's
can
a perk.
retroactively roll a perception check, but you will use the stats of a bat and not your own.
Perfect.
Which...
Stats of a bat. Oh, lovely. A 5. Oh, wait, but perception. Oh. So I don't use my perception.
Correct. Because you have polymorphed, you are actually a bat now. So you will add +1 to your roll.
I got a 6.
So it was too dark and you could not quite tell what was happening with the corpses. You just saw a pile of bodies.
A pile of bodies. Great. Yes, I don't know if they were animated, but they
That
were.
is fine. Good to know anyway.
Yes.
Might Fleance be able to describe maybe, and I don't know if this would help given what you perceived, but like maybe what his father was wearing so that we can go in and maybe look and see if his father is unfortunately a part of that pile?
Absolutely. Yes, Fleance will tell you. So my dad was sort of he was a nobleman, so he had a doublet on. He wasn't a fancy man, so it wasn't all the ruffles the king and them all are wearing, but he did have nice clothes on and like good leather breeches, solid boots. Had a riding cloak on. It would be hard for you to tell, Melinoe, on a 7 what the pile of bodies in the dark was wearing, even though you are a bat and can see fairly well in the dark. It was mostly just a lump of body parts.
Great. That's wonderful to hear. Not wonderful to hear. That's awful to hear. I'm glad you told us, though, because then we can figure it out. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Regardless, I think it's good for us to go in and try and stop this chanting, because I don't like the sound of it and I don't like the looks of it either.
No, sorry.
They are focused on the cauldron, correct?
Indeed, yes.
I wonder what's in it.
I'd rather not find out myself.
Thalassa looks like she's
Thalassa?
brewing.
I know the answer is no.
But
if I were to use my spell Destroy Water, could I empty the cauldron?
Interesting. What's the range on Destroy Water?
30 feet?
You have to get pretty darn close. You are not that close yet.
Are there rocks nearby that one could hide behind?
Oh,
Yes.
So your girl can teleport.
I'm sorry, what?
I got Misty Step,
Ah.
and I can.
Same difference.
It says teleport next to it.
I have something that might be helpful.
Yes.
I have an invisibility spell that I can
ooh,
use on a creature that I touch.
I'm a creature.
You're a creature. Does it work? Can we do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Do you want that, or do you think you have it?
Yeah. You know what? If it doesn't work, I will Misty Step my way out of that situation.
Selene wants to lay down the law and say, you go in there invisible, and if things go bad, you can Misty Step out of it.
Yes.
Perfect.
True. You would know Melinoe as a caster of this spell.
Mhm.
As soon as Thalassa casts her spell, she will cease to be invisible.
Right. So perhaps we use the invisibility to get you in there behind a rock or something, like you said, without being spotted, and then you're close enough to use the spell, and then you vanish.
Just hope I'm super sneaky.
I mean, would you like one of us to try and distract these creatures, or at least attack them first?
I do have a backup plan should all of this go awry. So I say we just do it.
If you like, I do have.
Not be water and it doesn't disappear.
It's soup. Just cooking dinner.
It still has water in it, though.
True.
I mean, we're getting a little bit Avatar: The Last Airbender in here, but there's water in everything.
Why I brought it up more as a question of, is that even a thing that would be considered in this?
You don't know what's in the cauldron from this distance, so it's certainly worth a try. It's not a guarantee.
Okay, I've got a plan. Make me invisible.
Okay.
So mark off your spell slot.
Yes.
You are using one of your spell slots in order to do this.
Great. How do I do that?
Even if you just make a note
I'll
on
make note. Yes, I'll do that. Okay.
Thalassa vanishes.
Great.
Cool.
The night.
And I certainly do try to creep to a rock.
Make a stealth check with advantage. Is everyone else staying put?
Uh, 17.
Right, I'm going to give them I'm going to look and see their passive perception because they're not paying attention to you at the moment.
Imagine the cauldron's just full of like dry leaves.
I was gonna say they're like burning something.
They're just doing a full clear out,
Right.
taking care of the underbrush, avoiding forest fires on the moor.
Just practicing the stirring motion.
Right.
This is rehearsal.
So you hold please. There we are. As you approach Thalassa, you are able to then hear more of the chanting and understand it a little better than a bat could. And you hear, through and through our charm do wind, to action now is fate abind. Heavy full is heart of dread, which lies with falsely crowned heads. Those who taste of blood of blade did know, rise you now to show.
Like quadrilogue again.
So the whole thing about animated corpses.
You don't need to repeat it back to me. This is what they are chanting, and they do appear to be adding things into the cauldron.
So it's not.
Nothing is like
None of what they are adding seems to be water specifically, but you don't know what's already in the cauldron.
and I am hidden behind a rock. So when I do become uninvisible,
You will have to appear from behind the rock to cast the spell.
Sure.
You can't cast it through rock.
Fair.
I believe you have to see the target.
But I can peek.
Sure. Yes.
Oh, I'm stressed. All right. Let's do it. We're going to try to destroy some water.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Does anything need to happen mechanically when you cast this spell?
Instantaneous. You either create or destroy water.
I assume you're destroying.
I am. Yes.
Does it have any details about how much water?
10 gallons.
10 gallons. That's a lot of water.
Is.
Excellent. All right. You cast your spell. You reach out, peering from beyond the rock. What form does your spell casting take? How do you do it?
Similarly, I think all of Thalassa's magic is that heartbeat. It's not necessarily the like froom that was detect magic, but physically, like she does bioluminate.
Sure.
Bioluminate.
Great.
And then whatever water is being destroyed glows that same blue, and then just psh, it's a technical term.
Excellent. You do this. There is a sound of clattering that happens within the cauldron, as the contents of it do seem to have shifted, but there does seem to be stuff still in the cauldron, and 3 heads whip and look at you, and a hand reaches out. I need you, please, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God. 24.
So you feel the muscles in your body begin to seize up, and a great fear begins to take you, and you are worried momentarily that you won't be able to move, but you indeed are able to shake that off. I need you specifically, I need you specifically to roll initiative. Everyone can also roll initiative, but you are all 60 feet away.
9.
Initiative 9 for Thalassa. Hera 7. Ooh, dear.
Yep.
We've got Selene at a 5, Melinoe. That was a 22?
12.
Well,
I wish it was 22.
excellent. Momentary, please, for me to write it all down. All right. So, the hag standing on the farthest side of the cauldron from you, so just about 30 feet away from you. I assume you got to the outside edge of the range of your spell. Yes.
I'm going to say I am specifically
As far away as possible. Excellent. So she's about 30 feet away from you. She scrolling. She is going to send a frigid beam of ice in your direction. She has... Oh, she's going to miss with an 8, presumably. And send a ray of frost just into the rock next to you that you are hiding behind. The second hag in front of you is going to attempt to curse you. So could you please make another wisdom saving throw?
13.
At 13, you are able to, yes, shake off the curse. You feel each of your barnacles begin to shrivel just a bit, and then relax and release. Melinoe, it is your turn. You are 60 feet away.
60 feet. Okay. And they are aware that something is happening, but they're not.
They are aware of Thalassa, and only Thalassa at the moment.
Interesting. Okay.
Melinoe, you are a person now, yes?
I am a person, yes.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Great. With what dice?
Roll the d20 and add your Arcana. Were I to have an American accent, Arcana.
So 18.
Melinoe, there is an additional figure here in this grove.
Okay.
Behind the hags, behind the witches, you see a spectral form of a man wearing a nice but not too fancy doublet, some nice leather breeches, solid boots, with a slash across his throat.
Oh no. Am I the only one who can see this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This man is dead. Obviously, with the slash across. Right.
He is sort of see-through right now.
Great. Okay, well that's terrifying to begin with. But I also don't want to do anything to piss him off because I feel like he might be well, I guess I can't hurt him, can I?
Might have a really intense stare.
Yeah. He oh gosh, I don't know what to do in this moment.
You have the option, you have several options if you don't know what to do right now and want to wait. You can choose to spend your turn helping someone else do something.
Okay.
Meaning you will not do anything on this turn, but give them advantage on their next whatever it is they're going to do. You can also choose to hold your turn and say, I want to do something later, please. But you'll need to decide what the later is. So like you could say, I would like to hold my turn until one of my friends is injured. I would like to hold my turn until that ghost does something.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, can I ask this? Do any of you have anything that you really want to do?
You probably don't have time for a whole conversation.
Great. I'm just going to say I'm going to wait for the ghost to do something.
Excellent.
And hold my turn then.
Very good.
Athena, do we know that there's a ghost? Has that information been...
So Selene has let you know that there is an undead presence, but only Melinoe can see this ghost, given that she is particularly attuned to the undead.
Right.
Can I actually tell them that then?
Absolutely.
Great, I will tell them that. There are not 4 individuals. There are 5. No.
There are 4. There are not 3.
There are not 3.
Plus 2 corpses.
Math. Yes, there are 4 in total. Odd beings in the distance, and one of them looks like the description, or matches the description that Fleance has described.
But not alive, I assume.
No, he's dead. He's a ghost.
Great.
Yes.
Cool. That's going to go real well.
Yes,
I can totally stab that. Thank you for telling us.
Ghost.
All right.
The third witch, Thalassa, I need you to make, please, a dexterity saving throw this time.
Why? Oh God. Ooh, 15.
A burst of sickly greenish light washes over you, but does not seem to adhere to your body. She was attempting to cast fairy fire on you and make it more easy for you to be found, but you are slippery and get out of the way.
The gills.
And Thalassa, it is now your turn.
Nothing more. Okay. I would, I would like to cast Thunder Wave. No, never mind. Wait. Yeah, no, never mind.
All right.
I have to be within 15 feet. And
wait. Yeah. Really? The range is 15 feet?
What it says. Because I was like, ooh, Thunder Wave. I've got this. Nope, 15 feet. So, new plan.
Emanates from you.
We're going to cast mirror image and create a double of myself.
You create 3 additional of you, in fact.
That's what I said. This does not say that, but that's fine.
Usually mirror image, there are now 4 of you. Yes?
It says, oh, yes. The first word is 3. I read it as the. So yes, there are. And we all just scatter. Just in a mess. Going everywhere. I GTFO toward my friends, but the long route so that they don't see me going that way.
Excellent. Very good. Melinoe, only you see
Yes.
the ghost
Yes.
raise a finger and point directly at you.
That's me. Okay.
And I need you, please, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Great. So do I add anything on it?
Yes.
My wisdom?
There's a little tiny box above your stats that says saving throws.
Above my stats.
Yes. So down the left-hand side, all the big numbers with
Yeah.
your individual statistics. Above that, there's a smaller box that says saving throws.
Yes. Okay. So 16 plus 5 is
So
21.
despite the fact that this creature has silently raised its finger and opened its mouth, which should theoretically cause that gaping throat wound to in fact close somewhat, in fact, everything opens up. And it is silent as it goes, but you are a warlock of the Undying. It is not your favorite thing, but you are accustomed to living in a world of spirits and ghosts, and you manage to not be afeared of the horrifying visage. Everyone's just shaking everything off today. Ha!
Just a little bit disgusted.
Hera.
Yes. I'm very far away. And I assume the only source of light is coming from where those 3 are congregated?
Currently, yes, from the fire.
All right, then I'm going to spend this turn getting closer. I'm assuming I need to roll for stealth, though.
What if you are trying to move stealthily, you will only be able to move your speed on this entire turn, which is 30 feet.
Right.
If you would like to not be stealthy and run at them, you could use the dash action and get there on this turn.
Are they aware of anyone else's presence besides Thalassa?
I don't believe so. The ghost sees Melinoe, but you're not aware of that. I don't know. I'm rolling for them, but really they wouldn't have an opportunity to roll at this moment.
Yeah.
Here in combat. No, they're mostly paying attention to Thalassa.
If I get myself all the way there in this turn, then I just am a sitting duck for whatever they do to me. So
Correct.
I'm going to
be ready to attack on the next turn.
Right.
Whereas if you sneak in, it will take you 2 rounds to get there.
Right.
So it's fully up to you.
I'm going to sneak for this turn, and we'll see what happens next time. So I move 30 feet closer.
Excellent. Make a stealth check.
Do I need to? All right. Cool.
And make it at there's not really light where you are.
All right. I was going to say, I feel like I would gain awareness as we get closer, but yes.
Yes, but the fire doesn't radiate light out 60 feet.
Right.
It's a small campfire under a cauldron.
Cool. Well, I got a 10.
You are as sneaky as you can be.
Excellent.
is there anything? I suppose that's your movement. Then, I think.
That's really all I've got. I mean, until I
Anything
get closer, I
your
really,
action or bonus action.
I can't really. I don't really have any bonus actions. I don't think so.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was the ghost raising his finger and pointing at me? Like, can I use my postponed move now? Is that
Yes.
great?
You can. He didn't. It didn't attack, but yes.
Oh,
it did
that's
something. But that's fine. Yes.
okay. Can I use? Is he technically a creature?
I believe so. Yes.
Perfect. So can I
Undead
use?
creature.
Can I use my mind link and speak telepathically to any creature that I can see, provided that the creature is within a number of feet of me equal to 10 times my level?
Equal to 10 times your level, so they would have to be within 40 feet of you. You were 60 feet away. Would you like to move 20 feet closer?
Yes, sure. I will do that.
Will you read me the text of that spell, or is that exactly what the spell says?
That's exactly what the spell says.
I believe, yes, a ghost is a creature.
I don't need to share a language. Is the only other thing I didn't read. I don't need to share a language with the creature, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
And he does. He speaks English.
This is true.
Yes.
Okay.
Mind link.
Now I can talk.
What would you like to say to this ghost?
I would like to ask why he pointed his finger at me to begin. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to ask who he is first. That's a polite thing to do. What is your name, sir?
You still hear it's sort of whispered and raspy, despite the fact that it's not actually coming out of any vocal cords. Number one, they've been cut, but number two, they don't exist anymore. That he's non-corporeal. And you hear Banquo.
I see. Might I ask, I don't know what to ask. How can we help you?
A tall water, one slice of pie.
Would you like a warm towel?
I think in full Independence Day mode, you just hear, "Release me."
Release you from the undead or from the witches?
One round is 6 seconds of time.
I should have.
I believe this is the extent of that conversation for the moment.
Good to know. I shall choose my questions more wisely next time.
It's perfectly fine. These are good questions to ask. You just don't have a lot of time in which to function. Selene, it is your turn.
Okay. I would like to first use my movement to go the 30 feet to get to where Thalassa is.
Yes.
Right? So I would assume I should stealth.
At disadvantage because you're wearing plate armor.
Let me get a second die. Hold on. I'm not on an even surface, and they landed and then went everywhere. Okay.
Off the table doesn't count.
Oh, so sorry. This is a D12, not a D20.
That won't cut it.
They're both they both give me 10.
10 of stealth.
Yes.
So sneaky. You're sure. You're so sneaky.
Clomp, clomp, clomp.
Clang, clang, clang.
Big footprints. And okay, so once I do a really good job sneaking over to Thalassa, I am going to ask for her consent to receive my touch for protection from evil and good. You're on mute.
I could not give a more enthusiastic yes.
I put my hands right on you, on your cheeks, and I give you protection from evil and good, which lasts for 10 minutes. Until the spell ends, you are protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on rolls against you, and you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Cool.
I know you have a target on your back with these ladies, if that's what they may be. And I figured you could use
a bit of beard.
They look very wise for their scruff. These these individuals seem to have a target on you, so hopefully this will help you. And that is my turn.
Excellent. Fleance at this time will turn mostly to Melinoe and say, "Did you say you could see me die?"
I did. I did see your dad. He's not alive, just like you said.
No, that I knew. You don't have to tell me. That's
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, is there anything you want me to say to him the next time?
Maybe, like, I don't know if now's the time, but I guess, like, I love you and goodbye. Is there anything I could do to help him?
Oh, do you want me to? I could ask that. Perhaps.
Oh, sure. I was wondering if maybe he had said anything yet.
Oh, yes, he did say, "Release me."
Excellent. That's not actually a lot of information, I'm realizing now as I ask you that. But good. I'm going to start shooting then.
At your dad?
I can't see him, so no.
Okay.
Maybe you could point me. Here, how about this? I'm going to raise my bow and tell me, is it here? Is it here? Is it here?
A little bit to the left. Oh, little more.
This way? Wait, this way? No, the other way?
No, the other way. The other way. Yes.
This way?
And no, other way.
This way? Over here?
Give it a wide range. Yes, there we go.
I don't have a wide range with an
But a
arrow.
wide, like, yes, I don't want you to accidentally hit your dad. I guess it would
Well,
go.
no, I'm aiming at him.
Oh, you're aiming at him.
You said he should be released. Is this where he's standing? It's so much longer than one round.
Okay, good. Yes, that's good. Right there.
He's going to make a roll at disadvantage to hit the invisible incorporeal ghost. Oh, they're both. Oh, they are both the same roll. Which is not going to hit. Well, let me double check. Hold, please. He has a decent. Yes. Ghost. Oh, it does hit. It just hits. In fact. Ha. So, Ghosty, you are going to take 4 points of damage to Da. And
Ta-da,
yeah.
to Da,
Da.
to Dad.
To me, Da. I'm not happy about him, but at least I can't see him while I'm shooting, so it's sort of like I'm just shooting into the air. Hopefully it works. I don't actually know how to pronounce this word, given that it's Gaelic. I believe it's bear, hag, possibly ver, hag, unclear. The first witch, if we were using Shakespearean terms, first witch shall leave the cauldron and I suppose actually first she will use her bonus action to drop something into the cauldron, given that their spell was interrupted. And she is going to add, she's going to drop in blood of sow into the cauldron. And will stalk over to one of the corpses and lower her mouth to it and begin to feast upon the corpse. So I need Thalassa and, in fact, everyone. I believe everyone can see her at this point. You've moved 30 feet closer. I need everyone, please, to make a wisdom saving throw.
What are we rolling on saving throws? Remind me.
Wisdom. So you always...
Sorry, which die? Always D20?
Always
Great.
You'll only roll something else if it's damage or I tell you specifically.
Thank you. You're great.
Do I get advantage because of my touchy thing?
You actually don't even need to roll.
Oh, thank goodness. I got a 1.
You're fine.
I got a 12.
16.
22.
Excellent.
16.
And 12.
Melinoe and Selene is gross and weird. But Melinoe, again, this is sort of your wheelhouse. You don't like it, Selene. You have a stomach of stone. Hera, you are now frightened of the first witch. And you may repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. But you, in fact, are incapacitated.
Oh.
Which means you're just sort of standing dumbstruck momentarily.
30 feet away. Cool.
30 feet away.
Cool.
The second witch is going to... Thalassa is still the only one who has really interfered in any sort of a significant way. So she is going to send a bolt of lightning in Thalassa's direction. Thalassa, please make a dexterity saving throw.
Well, question, since I have my 3 twins running around, it does say each time a creature targets you with an attack during a spell's duration, which is 1 minute, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack hits a target hits one of your duplicates.
I roll or you roll?
Sorry. I guess it doesn't say. Each time a creature targets you with an attack during the spell's duration, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates.
Does it give a DC?
A duplicate's AC? No.
You must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. So, Thalassa, please roll a d20. Try to get a 6 or higher. Actually, yes, a 6 or higher, because you still have all 3 duplicates.
Okay.
Technically, triplicates.
Well, don't worry about it. I got a 2, so it's fine.
It is coming at you,
Right.
then. They do have disadvantage to attack you, but technically this is you making a saving throw, so I'm going to have you make the save at advantage.
Great. What is the saving throw?
It is a dexterity saving throw. They do not have an especially high DC.
13.
That is the DC. You make it. So you are going to take half of the damage. Oh, I really should have gotten out more dice. I was trying to be all, ooh, look at me with my purple and copper dice. But I needed more than that. 12. Ooh, 21. 28. 14 points of damage.
That's fine.
Good. I'm glad it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Melinoe, it is your turn.
My turn. Okay. All right. Can I use my protection from evil and good spell to the very still and frightened Hera?
Yes.
Great.
You can.
I'm going to do that.
You.
Did you? How?
Excellent. Will you read to us how it works?
Yes, I can. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and the undead.
So this is the same spell that has been cast on Thalassa. Excellent. So these witches technically count as fae, so you are protected against them.
Oh, thank you.
And I believe your condition immediately is resolved.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Yes. Our third witch is going to send a is going to, at disadvantage, attempt to pull Thalassa closer.
I would like to. Firstly,
Yes, that is going to be at disadvantage. That is a 23 to hit.
well, can I try to get my double to?
Ooh, yes. Roll that beautiful d20 for me.
17.
Yes. So she is in fact going to send her thorn whip at a duplicate, which I believe will dissipate the duplicate. Let me just double check that. If an attack hits a duplicate, the duplicate is destroyed. So yes, now you have 2 additional Thalassas running around the battlefield. Very well done. Your turn, Thalassa.
Who is standing near the cauldron? Are they still all 3 there?
Which is 2 and 3 are near the cauldron, which 1 is gnawing on a femur of a corpse.
Okay. I need to feel better, so I'm going to cure wound on myself. Right? I don't have a. Yeah. I'm going to just cure myself.
Excellent.
And hope for the best.
Roll your healing.
That is 6. Better than.
A bit helps. And do you have a bonus action that you would like to do?
Not really.
All right. That's okay. That's all right. Not a problem. Banquo is going to begin to move toward Fleance and is this is not in fact how I intended this to work, but Thalassa's messing with the cauldron has changed things considerably. So Banquo is going to attempt to possess one of the witches.
Thank you.
Well, that's nifty.
Yes.
So how are they standing? Second witch is going to make a charisma saving throw, which she fails with a 9. Ooh. And she is now possessed by Banquo.
This is great.
Amazing.
All right. Great. Hera.
Can I ask a logistical question?
Yes.
Can we, the people who cannot see ghosts, is there any indicator that maybe something has changed?
Yes.
Does he give a thumbs up?
A big wink.
There is a great mysterious gust of wind that seems to only affect the second witch, who then her posture completely changes, and there is a ghostly flicker in her eyes.
Ooh.
She is no longer going to be able to put things in the cauldron, which I keep forgetting to do on their turns. Not a problem. Hera.
Yes. I am 30 feet away. So I wish to use the new fancy maneuver that Athena taught me and use Balestra and increase my speed by 5 feet.
Excellent.
And I wish to attack the witch that is currently feasting on dead bodies because ew.
Great.
And and I'm going to do it also using my duelist technique with my
Fantastic.
rapier. So I'm going to attack the heck out of this particular hag. The heck out of the hag.
Get her.
All right. Oh my God, I rolled so poorly. All right. So I've got the roll plus my attack bonus plus my bonus damage from dueling. Or no. No, I just get bonus
not bonus damage yet.
Right. All right. I rolled a...
Are there any of your maneuvers? I guess suppose you're using a Balestra maneuver.
I'm using one right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm using up a superiority dice for this. I rolled an 8 to hit.
That is not going to hit, but it does get you close to her.
I'm practically on top of her, yeah.
You can feel about that however you will.
Great. Cool. Well, worth a shot.
Absolutely worth a shot. Selene.
I would like to... I don't think I have a weapon out yet, so I'm going to opt for my lance instead of my rapier that I previously showed off my prowess with, if you know what I mean.
Indeed.
And I, feeling emboldened, I'm going to try to close distance on the non-possessed witch who is at the cauldron.
Excellent.
Right? And so I have a reach of 10 feet on it, so I'd like to be just outside of her melee distance and attempt to give her a big poke with my lance.
Okay.
Okay, let's poke.
Poke her body.
18 to hit.
That hits. Yes.
Okay, let's get out the D. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a D12. Oh, goodness, this shape is so hard to identify. D12, here we go, a dodecahedron.
Yeah.
That is 6 damage.
Excellent. Fleance is going to continue aiming at the same spot. He does not understand what has happened. Although I suppose he would have seen the weirdness with the wind as well. And let me give him an insight check to see if he understands what has happened there. Yes, absolutely. He followed along. Not a problem at all. So he is going to, in that case, attack the body of the hag, the witch that now houses his father. So that is our second witch. Fleance. Ooh, yes, very good. 23 to hit. And, a measly 2 points of damage. Oh, wait, plus 4. 6 points of damage. Not to himself. To her. There we are. He turns the arrow around and decides to just swing at himself instead. No. the first witch standing there in front of Hera shall cast again with you a frigid beam of blue-white light. So she's going to make an attack against you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hera.
What kind of attack is it?
It's a spell attack.
Damn. All right. I was going to say, if it was melee, I have things I can use.
It's another natural 20.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. It's not very much damage, though.
that's a good thing.
Well, it depends on how I roll, I suppose. 13 points of cold damage.
Awesome.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Honestly, it kind of gets me back down to where I was. Wind knocked out of me and on the ground and probably have a cracked rib or something.
You do have your special healing ability as well, don't forget. Your second wind.
I do, but then I have to rest like you would not believe.
Fair enough.
So I'm saving it. But thank you for the thought.
Understood. And the first witch is going to add Heart of Crow into the pot as well. Second witch, being possessed by Banquo, is going to do nothing. She is going to stand there. Or will she... No, she doesn't really have anything that she can do of that. So she's going to stand there.
Can she kick over the cauldron?
I was thinking about that. Let me give him an intelligence check to see if he would understand that.
Some good old poltergeist action. Just
I don't know. Hold please. The target is incapacitated, but the ghost now controls the body. The ghost controls the body. So, yes, I'm going to give him an unarmed attack at this cauldron to try to kick it over. Ooh. -2. No, wait, hers. It would be her strength. He's using her body. Oh, then yes. He is, in fact, able to kick over the cauldron.
sweet.
And the now rather dry contents go spilling out across the ground. Very well done. Melinoe, it is your turn.
Yes. Okay. So all of the stuff is out of the cauldron, right? Can I maybe talk to my friends here to determine the best next move, or do I have to make it all on my own? Okay. Wonderful. So I'm thinking I could either cast the Unseen Servant, because if all the stuff is out of the cauldron, it's not, they can just gather it and put it back in, right? So should I set it on fire with my Unseen Servant, or should I use the Chill Touch and create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range and make an attack against the creature?
I mean, I vote attack, but I'm also flat on the ground, so that's not surprising.
This is true. I guess if I use the attack too, then it'll be...
Melinoe, you can make me either an Arcana check,
okay,
or a religion check.
Interesting. Arcana.
Great. So roll your d20 and add your Arcana bonus to it.
17.
So being a warlock and being a magic user yourself, and especially given your particular background where you were brought up by a witch, you would know that spells don't work without their components.
It's true.
And so whatever they're trying to do requires whatever was in that cauldron.
Right. So maybe I will use my unseen servant and set these things on fire.
Excellent.
I'm going to do that. Yes. So my shapeless, go forth my shapeless force and set these things on fire.
So does your unseen servant act on your initiative?
The servant springs into existence in an it has AC 10, 1 hit point, and a strength of 2, and it can't attack. If it drops to 0 hit points, the spell ends.
The servant can perform simple tasks, including lighting fires. Once you give the command, the servant performs the task. It says nothing to me that it takes an additional action or bonus action on your part to give that command, which I find interesting. So I believe that you can use your action to create this unseen servant. Talking is a free action, so you can just tell it, go light that stuff on fire, and it's just going to go do that.
Great.
Once on each of your turns as a bonus action, you can give that command. So it does take your bonus action to give this command, that's fine. And the servant's just going to do it, and it's just a question of when. Great. That's happening. And there's already fire there, so it's not like this is going to be a difficult task to do. Delightful. Except, for me. And all my plans.
Sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. That's brilliant, in fact. Our third witch has no idea that has happened, and is going to attempt again to pull Thalassa closer. Thalassa, roll that d20 to find out if it's you or one of your two duplicates, your duplicates. You are muted.
I do have to roll a higher number now, though.
Correct. I believe it's over 8 now.
It's over 8, and I got to 10.
Brilliant. So she's going to make this attack. We'll see if it even hits. Why am I rolling 2 dice? I don't know.
It feels good.
It does feel good. She does hit. There's one more duplicate gone. I believe as she sends this thorn coming up out of the moors, whipping through, rather than grasping on and pulling closer, there is instead just a sea spray that bursts forth instead. Thalassa, it is your turn.
All right. So now that I've seen the possessed witch kick over the can, I've now seen with cauldron or can, same thing.
Kick the cauldron.
Or I've also seen Melinoe lighting the things on fire. I've now gathered mess with the cauldron. Because I'm not smart, but I'm good at picking up what people put down. So I
It was Hippolyta.
Street smart.
So what I do is I wing it, and I just run to the cauldron, and I, in a last-ditch effort, do Thunder Wave, which everyone within a 15-foot radius of the cauldron needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Excellent. So that would be both the second and third witches. Selene, you are there as well.
Probably me too, yes.
Yes. Oh, 15 feet?
Yeah, I assumed she was
Look at the map that we can't use. Hold on. Yes, you are within 15 feet.
Me?
You definitely, Selene.
Yes,
are.
definitely. Yep.
Hera, 5, 10, 15. You're just on the outside range, Hera. Diagonals in D&D are tricky, but let's go ahead and roll it.
Constitution, you said?
Witches.
19.
One succeeds and one fails.
I'm over 20. So
if the one that failed,
the non-possessed witch failed. The possessed witch has succeeded.
takes 15 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away.
Ooh.
On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage and is not pushed away.
So the possessed witch takes 8 points of damage. 8 points of damage and is not pushed away. So that would also mean then that Hera takes 8 points of damage.
ouch.
And Selene, I didn't hear. Did you succeed or fail?
Yes, I got a 19, which I assume is success.
Success. Only 8 points of damage.
Great.
And then it also says, in addition, unsecured objects, like a cauldron, that are completely within the area of the affected are automatically pushed 10 feet away by the spell's effect, and the spell emits a thunderous boom.
Boom.
Cannon.
Boom. Yes.
Excellent. So your unseen servant, does your unseen servant have a name, Melinoe?
Let's call him something. I'll get back to you on that.
Excellent. So your unseen servant,
Call him something.
something
Yes.
is going to have a slightly more difficult job since now the objects are a little bit more spread out, but he is still going to just systematically light things on fire.
Perfect.
Inside of our second witch, Banquo, the ghost of Banquo, is going to cast lightning bolt at the cauldron using the witch's abilities. I believe that's how this works. He just controls the body. Yes, he can do what she can do. And she's going to cast lightning bolt at an inanimate object and misses. The cauldron is still rolling from the thunder wave, and the lightning bolt simply goes where it used to be and not where it is now. Hera, it is your turn.
I stagger to my feet. I'm not doing well. And I'm still very close to that first witch, yes?
Yes, you are.
Then I would like to attack her again with my rapier. Yeah, and whether it's a slash and a stab or a punto into the kidneys or what, but just something.
Very good. Stab away.
Great. All right. Then I've got a 14 to hit.
That unfortunately does not hit.
Again.
Alas.
These dice are not fair to me today.
If I recall correctly, you were quite effective in the last.
I was really effective.
Last session.
I was just cruising on 18s and
But
19s.
it's such a bummer. Every time you miss, it's such a bummer. Every time someone makes their saving throw, it blows.
To be fair, I probably have a twisted ankle. There are things wrong with me right now.
Your hair, though, still looks great.
That's the one thing unaffected by all of this. It was affected by the birds. It's not effective now. Thank you, Thalassa, for your assistance.
It's that sea salt spray. Selene, it's your turn.
Great. Just assisting me on Theatre of the Mind, I do have a witch close by.
You do, the third witch.
And the third witch is not Banquo is possessing the second witch.
Correct.
Great. Then I will poke at the third witch with my lance. Ooh, which is 24 to hit.
So much hitting, yes.
I almost crit, but I did not. Alas. Let's get a d12. That is 10 damage to the witch.
Very ouch. Yes.
I think I might just really go for it, as time is of the essence, and give her a searing smite as well.
Lay it on her.
Which gives her an extra 3 damage.
Ouch.
Nice.
Very, very good. Fleance is going to aim again at the witch that holds his father. Tears now in his eyes. This young, dirty boy. And say, I'm sorry I keep doing it, Dad, but I gotta let you go. And fires again at the witch. Ooh, very big hit on that one. 23 to hit.
Ouch.
Yeah, you play on.
An additional 7 points of damage to our second witch. It is now the first witch's turn. And despite the fact that she is currently undamaged, she looks about her ritual site. The cauldron spilled and largely emptied through various means. Her spell components are fire. She looks at you and says, "Aroint thee all. The earth hath bubbles, as water does, and she and the third witch vanish." You see a shudder go through the second witch, as though her body was attempting to leave as well and be taken with the first and third witches. But that person is no longer in control of this body and cannot be taken as well. So now, amidst several small fires, you and one last witch remain.
Whew.
This is a witch who is now largely just standing there. And you have the choice of what to do. We are still in initiative order. Melinoe, you are up.
Okay. Well, am I close to her at all?
You can be.
I can be. I have like 4 daggers and some quarterstaffs. Which one would get me there quicker? I feel like, can I put them together? Make a spear?
If you would like to take your turn, your 6 seconds, strapping a dagger to your spear, I'll allow it.
No, I think that's probably a little bit stupid.
You can also, in this moment, you do recall that this creature is being held here by some sort of magic, and that magic, you know how magic functions as well. So you have your choice of what to do in this moment.
I do have magic, and I do know what magic does.
Yes, you do. And you recall from your previous Arcana check that destroying the components will destroy a spell.
Are the components all on fire?
Not yet. He's been going around one at a time, lighting individual fires.
Right, so he's still doing that.
He is still doing that. So if you'd like to just wait, this body does not seem to be moving or attacking.
I mean, I would love to what if I just tried an Eldritch Blast? Destroyed the
At the body of the witch. The body of the witch, you can absolutely attack. She does not look terribly close to death at the moment. But if you as a party decide that you want to stand there and continually attack this body until it dies, you certainly can.
Do we do that, or should we ask dear Banquo to help us through the body of the witch? Is that feasible?
I say,
Yeah, you're still mind linked.
Perfect.
I say light it up, and then we can communicate with Banquo after.
Potentially, although it sounds like, Fleance has been trying to kill the witch to release Banquo, so that might just send him off into the ether and then we're no better off. I'm wondering if killing this witch would be also killing one of the components of a spell, if it takes all three of them to do something.
Intriguing.
I don't know, though.
Yes. Okay, well, why don't I ask Banquo a question and then use the Eldritch Blast then. Do we have a specific question that we want to ask him? Like, through the witch or of him?
A combination, perhaps, of if we kill the witch, do we ruin their plans and release you?
Right. Yes. If we kill the witch, do we ruin their plans and release you?
Killing the witch, you get the sense from him that their plans would be ruined, but it would not necessarily release him.
So we could still talk to him after then. Okay. Let's Eldritch Blast then.
Great with that.
Perfect.
You can make the attack with advantage because she's not moving.
Perfect. Oh, I got 20. So
Yes, you did.
and
Then I suppose actually before you begin rolling and doing maths, is the plan to simply surround the witch and attack?
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
Excellent.
Yep.
When we don't need to roll, Banquo will hold her until she falls.
Sweet.
Not what I expected. I did not expect to lose a witch. And that's a very interesting repercussion for the rest of the play. But as the witch's body falls, her body slumps, and in her place, the ghost of Banquo still stands.
Can they all see?
In this moment, yes. All can see, including Fleance.
Yeah, you look terrible.
Yes.
He points at your hair.
Don't you point at my hair. My hair looks perfect.
Moves away and points elsewhere.
How can
Thought
we
about
help
it?
you?
No.
What keeps your spirit confined to this earth?
And he points at the cauldron.
That we just destroyed?
The cauldron hasn't been destroyed. Everything in it has been lit on fire.
Right.
The cauldron still stands.
That's right. The lightning blast didn't get it quite.
Right. Is it the cauldron itself or the ingredients that we burned?
He gestures broadly.
All of it.
Great.
Well, does
I think
anyone have
we-
anything that can destroy a cauldron?
I don't. I mean, picking up a rock and smashing it.
I guess in my head, cast iron skillet. It's
They're pretty hardy. It's true.
like,
They do break, though.
They do break.
Not sure. Could I?
You do know that now that the imminent threat seems to have passed, you don't have to figure this out right now at the moment.
Great.
And you might, in fact, have allies who could aid in this endeavor.
Perfect. Should we move on then?
Make our way to the castle, I suppose?
should we
Yes.
take the cauldron with us to the castle?
Strap it to a... Oh, we don't have horses.
We have Bob.
We have bombs strapped to
Strap it to a bob.
Strap it
Bob
to a
down
bob.
with a giant iron cauldron strapped to his back, standing at about half of his height.
Poor
Yes,
Bob.
Mum. Happy to be of service, Mum. This is fine, Mum.
And so it is, Bob.
Is there anything I can do to make it light?
I doubt it. Bob shall gleefully trudge, well, gleefully as one can, with a many pound cauldron upon his back, schlep the cauldron to the castle, where surely everything in that castle is totally fine.
Very normal.
But we will save those adventures for another day.
Oh. I just wish to point out that so far in both of these sessions, I'm the one who keeps volunteering Bob.
That's a very you thing to do. Come now.
Selene, I appreciate you not being angered at my use of your squire, which is not a euphemism this time.
Honestly, I worked so hard the last session that one of my intentions for this one was to not insert Bob into every circumstance and let others of the party do that, because he is loyal to every member of the group, equally. But Selene is kind of his handler back at HQ. But when we're on the road, it's everyone's right to give Bob a command.
The universal squire.
Yes.
Champion, he's marvelous.
Well, thank you, players. That was an absolute delight. Thank you, audience who have bared with us through all of this. We have some special shout outs to give to our patrons who are helping us create content like this and others. So a huge thank you to Chris C., Luke and Brianna C., Mo C., Kyle F., Mary F.T., Tyrone H., William O., Jake P., James M., Amelia R., David S., Thnaskane, and Sarah and Lilith W. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to have your name shouted out on stream, or just support us because you think we're so great, we think you're so great, and you can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/vixensonguard. We also accept just the tip on Venmo at vixensonguard if you enjoyed what we did here today and want to see more of it. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope you all get a wonderful sleep spell cast on you this night.
Indeed.
Doesn't that sound nice?
Thank you, darlings.
Thanks, everyone.